This hour of the morning show is brought to you by GD Coates Used Car Superstore, the original used car superstore, 425 Dunlop Street West in Barrie, or gdcoatesuperstore.ca.
News is brought to you by Ron Johnston Insurance. Working for you, not insurance companies. Visit rjins.com.
Good morning, I'm James Warner-Smith with an information update. Carrie's off today, but she'll be back on Tuesday. The weather advisory for the area has ended, but the forecast is still calling for a mix of snow today. Weather details coming up after news and sports. In the news today, it's a snow day for some students as all school buses in Simcoe County have been canceled. Once again, the Simcoe County Student Transportation Consortium has canceled all buses and vans in the region due to the current poor road conditions. The OPP have released new images of suspects in the disappearance of Elnaz Haj Tamiri from a Trailwood Place home more than a year ago. Police say the new images of 2 men and 1 woman taken in Quebec are linked directly to the kidnapping. The suspects are from the Greater Toronto area, and OPP are asking the public to contact them if they have any information. You can find the images in an article on the CTV Barrie website. An illegal dispensary in Bradford, West Gwillimbury, selling magic mushrooms is pushing for the drug's legalization one day after a police bust. A 37-year-old woman faces multiple charges after police raided the Holland Street store on Wednesday. The owners reopened yesterday. Reggie Floyd, a spokesperson for Fun Guys, says it's as much a protest as it is a business. He says the demand is there. People enjoy mushrooms. We didn't come to Bradford on a whim. Fun Guys operate 5 locations in Ontario. The snowmobile season has not been kind to Simcoe County and Muskoka. Many trails are closed or down to dirt, and the dwindling season has resulted in a significant decline in business in the area. Bill Watts of the Hill and Gully Riders told CTV News it affects the whole Muskoka region. There's a lot of money to be made there. People come up from the city or even up from the States to snowmobile. The manager of Mid-Ontario Snowmobile Trails calls this the worst season since 2009. Barrie City Council has approved the city's portion of the 2023 budget and business plan following several amendments. The total increase to the city's portion for infrastructure renewal is 1% or $43.61 annually for the average Barrie home. Council also approved a 3.7% increase in water rates and 5% for wastewater rates, adding another $40 per year to the average bill. The service partner portion of the budget is expected to be approved March 8th. A report looking into the government's use of the Emergencies Act is due out today. The act was used in reaction to protests around Parliament Hill and at several Canadian border crossings early last year. Justice Paul Rouleau's report is expected to address whether the move was justified and should spark debate about current legislation. Toronto Mayor John Tory is marking his final day on the job today. Last week, Tory announced he had an inappropriate relationship with a former staff member in his office and would be stepping down. The resignation takes effect at 5 this afternoon. Deputy Mayor Jennifer McKelvey will take over on an interim basis. About a dozen people with the Simcoe County Federation of Agriculture were on hand Thursday to present a check for $500 to the Alliston Good Shepherd Food Bank. The Federation itself has been around for 83 years, according to Vice President Dave Ritchie. He says they donate a portion of annual membership dues to community food banks, 4-H clubs, and to student bursaries. The Federation also donates to sites in Orillia, Midland, Thornton, and Tottenham to the tune of $4,000 each year. In sports, in the NHL, Detroit Red Wings extended their winning streak to 5 games with a 5-2 win over the Calgary Flames. Carolina handed the Montreal Canadiens a 6-2 loss, and it was Columbus over the Winnipeg Jets 3-1. No games in the OHL today, but the Barrie Colts will host North Bay Saturday night, and they'll play in Kingston on Family Day Monday afternoon. That's your news and sports. Bounce weather is coming up.
Bounce Road Watch is brought to you by Paul Sadler Motors on Bayfield Street in Barrie. Bumper-to-bumper slowdowns along the 400 in both directions, anywhere from the merge right there towards south of Highway 9. No issues if you're out on 11, but it is busy through the Gasoline Alley area, and expect delays as you're making your way out on in-town routes as well, and city streets through Barrie are filling in. The easiest way to find the perfect campsite this summer is Hip Camp. Everything from tent camping, yurts, glamping, cabins, and RVs. Don't let inflation stop you from vacation. Visit hipcamp.com. With the latest traffic, I'm Samantha Casillas. Weather. weather brought to you by Barber & Haskell. Visit our new expanded showroom at 880 King Street, Midland for the best selection of Sealy and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Sleep easy with Barber & Haskell.
Bounce weather is still calling for a mix of snow this morning. Northwest winds gusting to 40. Temperatures falling to -8 by this afternoon. Tonight mainly cloudy with a low of -12. Saturday a mix of sun and cloud, the high +2. Sunday cloudy with a chance of flurries, the high +3 that day. And for Family Day Monday, it's going to be cloudy with flurries, the high +1. Get news and weather anytime at bounce1041.ca.
CICZ-FM, Simcoe County. Bounce 1041, an iHeart radio station. This hour of the morning show is brought to you by GD Coates Used Car Superstore, the original used car superstore, 425 Dunlop Street, West in Barrie, or gdcoatessuperstore.ca.
News is brought to you by Ron Johnston Insurance. Working for you, not insurance companies. Visit rjins.com.
Good morning, I'm James Warner-Smith with an information update. Carrie's taking the day off today. She'll be back on Tuesday. We might see some flurries later on today. Weather details coming up after news and sports. 4 people are in hospital following a 2-vehicle crash in Tay Township just before 6 o'clock Sunday evening. The crash occurred at the intersection of Hog Valley Road and Rumney Road. One of the crash victims was flown to a Toronto area hospital, and the intersection was closed during the evening for an investigation. No charges laid at this point. Police in Wasaga Beach are investigating a crash that sent the driver of a vehicle to hospital with serious injuries on Saturday night. 2 vehicles collided head-on just before 5:30 on River Road West between Odell Gate and Silver Birch Avenue. OPP said an investigation of the crash is still underway. Charges have been upgraded in a murder investigation in the Blue Mountains. With the story, here's CTV's Dana Roberts.
CTV News has learned that James Schwam, a former Brampton fire captain, is now facing first-degree murder charges after his wife Ashley's body was discovered in her burned SUV when it crashed in the Blue Mountains on January 26th. Schwam is also charged with indignity to a body with court documents showing he is accused with interfering with his wife's remains found in a burnt car. The allegations have not been tested in court. His next court appearance will be on March 3rd.
Officers with South Simcoe Police responded to a call for service, including locating pigs on the loose on Saturday. The incident happened along Highway 89 and 10 Side Road in New Tecumseth, where officers located 15 missing pigs on the road. Officers safely removed each pig from the road. The owner was located soon after and took all 15 home to safety. Heavy rain in Brazil is causing widespread flooding and landslides that have so far killed 36 people. Authorities in the country's north, Sao Paulo state, say the number of fatalities could rise. Among those killed was a 7-year-old girl in the city of Ubatuba. Rescue teams are working to find those missing, injured, or feared dead. Ontario's maple syrup producers say climate change is making it difficult to predict when to kickstart their harvesting efforts. Producer Kent Breeden says he's trying to make the most of mild Ontario winters while he still can. Breeden says that means tapping season is beginning earlier, bringing the opportunity for a bigger harvest. However, he says he's concerned that the weather is changing too fast, and that might ultimately mean their trees get tapped out for good. Marvel's newest Ant-Man film was bigger than ever at the box office over the weekend. Studio estimates show Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania opened with $225 million worldwide. It's easily the largest opening score of the year so far, even though critics and audiences have given the film low scores. In sports, Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics scored an All-Star Game record 55 points, and Team Giannis beat Team LeBron 184-176 in the NBA's annual showcase on Sunday. Pascal Siakam of the Toronto Raptors picked up 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists in 15 minutes on the court. In the NHL, Chicago embarrassed the Toronto Maple Leafs with a 5-3 victory over the Buds. Ottawa Senators pulled off a 7-2 win over St. Louis. Edmonton Oilers fell to Colorado 6-5 in overtime, and New Jersey beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-2. In the OHL, Barrie has an afternoon game in Kingston at 2, and the Sudbury Wolves are in Peterborough to take on the Petes. That's your news and sports. Bounce weather is coming up.
Bounce Road Watch is brought to you by Paul Sadler Motors on Bayfield Street in Barrie.
No problems this morning on Highway 26 from Barrie as you head out towards the Collingwood area, and the 400 in good shape from Barrie right up towards Wabashine. Checked in on Highway 93, still trouble-free off the 400 as you head into Penetanguishene, Midland. Trick Art Box in Niagara Falls, Canada's first and only trick art museum, where all the art is brought to life with you in it. Fun for all ages. Check out at Trick Art Box on TikTok, Instagram, or trickartbox.com. With the latest traffic, I'm Robert Atwood.
Weather brought to you by Barber & Haskell. Visit our new expanded showroom at 880 King Street, Midland for the best selection of Sealy and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Sleep easy with Barber & Haskell.
Bounce weather clearing by this afternoon. Winds northwest gusting to 60. Temperatures are going to fall to -3 and then be steady for the rest of the day after that. Becoming partly cloudy after midnight, the low -11. Tuesday cloudy with flurries in the morning, ending later in the afternoon, the high 0. Get news and weather anytime at bounce1041.ca.
CICZ-FM, Simcoe County, Bounce 1041. The music you just can't quit. An iHeart radio station.